Time. Hello, I'm trying this a second time and it's not working right. There we go. All right, I'm sorry, I'm going to start out with more stuff in the slides and then I just have to talk because it's getting really late. It's 1 a.m., but I want to go over this quiz on video for you guys so you can have some help. Those of you who need it, and those who don't, it's just to confirm what you're used to. So the quiz we had the other day was on clauses, the fourth level of grammar. Okay, the first item on the test. It said this sentence purpose declares or makes a statement. There are the clues right there in yellow letters. It says declares or makes a statement. So as long as you remember what the four purposes are, you should be able to choose declarative. Should have been obvious. There was a word bank. Under purposes it said declarative. So I think most of you got it, but for the few that didn't, that was a mistake. You can hear a jingling noise. It's my itchy dog scratching. Okay, the next one. The subject of the sentence may take a double verb as its predicate. The next thing in the question was, what do we call it when one subject has two predicates, as in this sentence? Notice my typo. It's supposed to say TWO2. Here's my sentence example. Jane watched the movie and ate popcorn. Two predicates, one subject, compound predicate. The next question. It's the purpose of the sentence about Jane above. So now we're back to purpose choices, which remember are declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. This thing about Jane is just a simple statement, so it's clearly declarative. Be quiet, Moose. All right, I gotta stop this. Okay, now we're back to recording. Where was I? Okay, well, did we finish about this one? Jane watched the movie and ate popcorn. Clearly, that's just a statement. This is our common name for one clause alone or with other clauses, either dependent or independent. We've said this before, even though it wasn't written quite like this in your notes. I'm not positive. But the answer is clearly sentence, our common name for one clause. If it's alone, then remember a bunch of words with a subject and a predicate makes a complete thought. That would be an independent clause. It should have probably said independent clause, didn't it? Here's the next one. The sentence purpose for this sentence. The hodag ate my lunch. The purpose is clearly exclamatory, right? Note the punctuation. It's marked. Purpose for this sentence. Why do we have to learn this stuff? Whiny, whiny, whine. But of course, the purpose is, it's a question. Some people said imperative. That would be a command. But it's asking. There's the punctuation mark that gives it away. Sentence structure for this sentence. I wanted to study clauses, so I watched Ms. Gunn's video. Notice you got one whole clause, bunch of words, makes a complete thought. I wanted to study clauses. And another one. I watched Ms. Gunn's video. And there should be a period there. They're connected by some sort of conjunction. You have to figure out what kind so you know whether the second one is made into a fragment, the second clause. And it happens that so is one of the fanboys. It's not one of the Webibus words, the subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions would make that into a fragment. But since it's one of the fanboys, it doesn't make it into a fragment. So we have two independent clauses. Structure is compound, so that the answer to this one is compound. The structure of this sentence, popsicles melt. It's nothing but a subject and a predicate, but it makes a complete thought. So it's simple. The structure is simple. The next one. This one's pretty fun, and I wish I had time to mess with my colors to show you different things. I'll use my cursor here. First of all, some people put down the purpose. They put declarative or some other purpose. You're looking for a structure here. You have to look at how many clauses of what kinds of clauses, dependent or independent. Some people put complex or compound complex, but the smart people put simple, because here's the sentence. The NFL owners settled the referee strike and sent the substitutes home. We only have one subject. The owners are doing two things. They settled and sent. One subject doing two predicates. We call that a compound predicate. It's still only one clause, which makes the sentence structure simple. The purpose of this sentence. Stop talking, please. Of course, you know the implied subject that would go over here is you, because whoever the speaker is, they're talking to a person who is talking, and they want that person to stop talking. So they could easily have said, you stop talking, please. The implied subject is you. So the purpose of the sentence is to give them a command, however politely. Please doesn't change the nature of the sentence, which is that it's a command. A command is called imperative. Here's another one. I love this one. It makes me sing songs all the time. The farmer and the cowman should be friends. That's from Oklahoma. But I thought I would change it for our class. The structure of the sentence. The hodag and the bulldog should be friends. You have to figure out how many clauses. Hodag and bulldog, it's a compound something. Those things are doing one action. Should be. Sort of like an action, I guess. Should be is the predicate. One predicate, two subjects. It's simple. The structure of this sentence. If we buy the steak, will you cook it on the grill? We buy the steak. That would be a complete thought. But when I say, if we buy the steak, it's leaving you hanging. This beginning clause is dependent. And then maybe you were confused a little by the second one, those of you who got it wrong. Since it's a question, the subject is you and the predicate is will cook. You will cook it on the grill. You just can turn it into a statement to figure out subjects and predicates. But it still should be pretty clear. That's a clause, and this is a clause. If we buy the steak, but if is an omnibus word, a subordinating conjunction, it means that it leaves you hanging, so the structure is one dependent clause, one independent clause, and that's called complex. It's a single parent family, one grown up with one child. Single parent families are complex, and so are sentence structures with one independent clause and some children. The purpose of that sentence was the next question, and the purpose, remember, it would be declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. Clearly from the question mark, it's a question, it's asking, it's remember, rogat means ask. So interrogative sentences are questions. Okay, and then the last one, this kind of sentence purpose interrogates or asks a question. So this was just a definition, and clearly the answer is just like the last answer, interrogative. And I think that completes our test. Some of you were having trouble with that, and we need to have some more videos to help you to help you to remember this stuff. It looks like I've got more stuff here. I'm not sure what I've done. Never mind. Good night. See you in the morning.